I guess I don't entirely believe this story because I'm naive. I don't want to believe that people are just this mean. To go out of their way and be this mean, I guess I can't attach to it.
Well, you have to go out of his way to be this mean. Like, if there is truth to the story, like his thinking is seriously flawed for sure, and he's doing something mean, but he wasn't going out of his way to be mean to the girl because he was having a private text conversation with somebody else.
Which, yeah, and I get that, and I don't know which is worse, but just to even text the word, like, why even make the observation? Why even offer it? Just that kind of negativity, I just don't understand spreading that.
I don't either. So there's a woman sitting on a plane. And she discovers that the man sitting next to her called her a fat ass. And she did this because he was texting with his girlfriend. And he had his phone out and in plain sight. And she was sitting there and she was reading the text exchange. And she could see what he was writing to his girlfriend.
I was sitting on the plane and this guy sits next to me. And he has his phone out, like way out in front of him, like where I can see it. I'm reading his text with his girlfriend. She says, "How's the flight going?" And he says, "Too small with this fat ass next to me." Like he was talking about me.
Now, the more you look into the story, the story is going viral because she took a photo of his phone and of the text messages for receipts. And when she posted it, and of course people look at her, she's not that anybody should be called a fat ass, but by the definition of the word fat and overweight, she is not.
I'm actually a size 2. I weigh 110 pounds, so I wouldn't consider myself fat at all. Initially, I was kind of like, ooh, that kind of hurt my feelings, but I can laugh about it now and make a funny TikTok about it. But then for someone else, that could have like ruined their day, their week, their year.
Yeah, I don't know that she can entirely attach herself to the pain of being called that if you're only 110 pounds, you know?
Yeah, and so the story for me, because it's so deflating and disappointing that somebody thinks like that and somebody would say those things. But I am a firm believer in it's none of my business what other people think of me. And like Peter Baxa, like this quote, it resonates with me. Listen to what others think about you, but do not react, for whatever they think or express about you has more to do with them than with you.
You don't almost have to be a robot, though, to like not be affected by that. I agree with it. 100% agree with it.
It takes some practice, but you can get there.
Yeah, it does.
Practice,
it definitely takes practice.
I get it.
And and I'm just like, he was wrong. But also, if you're actively going and looking over somebody's shoulder and reading their text messages and seeking that out, you're doing yourself a disservice at the same time.
If you're able to take a photo of it, though, it's out there, like it's in your face, right? I mean, it's kind of hard not to. You said he was holding his phone out enough for her to be able to take a photo of it?
That's what makes me think this whole thing might be fake.
Yeah.
Me too.
And then I saw a lot of the debate going back and forth that maybe he was saying this to his girlfriend because he's got a jealous girlfriend.
Yes, because when people saw her and she's a size 2, she weighs 110 pounds, they're like, well, he doesn't think she's a fat ass. He was doing that to placate a jealous girlfriend and
He
just
could have said it was a guy.
Yeah, that's what Cassie said the other day. She was like, that makes absolutely no sense.
Why volunteer it at all?
Yeah.
That's the
Like,
thing. Even if he has a jealous girlfriend, why volunteer anything?
So she said, "How's the flight?" And he said, "Fat ass." He could have said, "Fine." That's another word that starts with F. It's shorter.
Yes.
My thing is, I'm all about, I love that mentality of not letting what other people think affect you. But when you're talking about a term like fat ass, it really does affect fat people, and they are discriminated against, and they lose job opportunities. And I know it sounds like, oh, really? Just lose the weight. But it's a thing. It really is a thing. So I think when you see somebody engaging in problematic behavior that affects an entire class of people, you need to call them out. And I'm mad that she blurred his face out in the little text icon. Like, I think she should have called him out as to who he was, because you can't talk about people like that and get away with it. That's discriminatory.
But then you start getting all sorts of social media comments that you're being the bully now if you put his name on it. Because right now, she's clean. She didn't do anything really wrong except share it. But once she puts his name out there, we've done this. No, so you guys are talking about the bully, but the truth of the matter is you're no better. You're bullying also.
That's always how I can very easily see another bully, is people that are sticking up for the bully.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bullying going
on. You just
on.
outed yourself as somebody who also has this kind of behaviors.
Well, am I a bully for saying that somebody shouldn't be intervening in somebody's private text messages?
No, I think you cross the line, though, for some, when you you show their face or you show their name or you
yeah.
give their phone number out or whatever. Like
I mean, yeah, I don't want to dox him. Like, I don't want to completely
Yeah.
like reveal his phone number and his address. It's just, for me, it's like, that's some emotional trauma. If she was an overweight person, like overweight people, and I can't speak on behalf of all of us, I hate going on planes. Those seats are small. I try and shove myself against a window. Like, there is no place more that you feel you don't belong on an airplane. So just, if she was overweight, to sit next to someone like that and read that text message is just such a dagger to the heart. And freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences.
Yeah, I remember reading on Reddit the account from a woman that she called herself obese, and she so graphically described her fear and anxiety getting on a plane because she could feel and see everybody's face as soon as she gets on, as she's walking down the aisle, and the relief she almost felt when she went past somebody's row that they weren't going to be sitting next to her, and it completely changed my attitude on stuff like that.
It sucks. It sucks to be the pariah just for existing as you are. And that's what it feels like. And so when somebody like this, like I look at that, I'm a size 22. I'm technically obese. And I look at like a size 2 being called fat. And I'm like, great. So what am I? Like a T-Rex over here? You know, you're going to like put a muzzle on me and shove me in the cargo hold?
Yeah.
Like it's just, and it's hard. I don't take that stuff personally anymore, but it took me a long time to get there. So I'm like, watch what you say.
Yeah.
Like a story like this goes viral and you're just like, what about people who actually are fat and there's nothing wrong with it, but you're calling a size 2 fat. And then other size 2s who have body image issues are probably feeling bad about themselves too. And y'all don't need to be, trust me.
That's why I feel like there's two important lessons here. And I'm agreeing with absolutely everything you're saying. And that, you need to watch what you say. But unfortunately, there are, thanks to your and Davi's segments every week, there's a lot of a-holes out there, whether you want to believe it or not.
Yeah, thanks for raising the awareness. I wasn't really sure that they existed, but every week I'm reminded.
I got you.
But they're out there, and you have to beware of the a-holes and not let them dictate your day, dictate your life, and dictate how you feel about yourself.
The Bert Show.